Hello! This instructional video is for extemporaneous speaking and impromptu speaking. These are both draw events where the student is given some time to prepare their thoughts and then give a speech. The big difference between the two is the extemp, you get a half hour, impromptu, you get 5 minutes. So in extemp, you're expected to use sources and you're supposed to tell where those sources are from, according to Time Magazine, according to CBS News, according to Christian Science Monitor, whereas in impromptu, there's really no citations made. Okay? Now, both of them, just as in the informative, generally they need to walk. So they give the introduction, and then they have their first talking point, they come over here, right? And then their second talking point can come up to second base if they want, their third talking point to third base, and then their conclusion to the pitching rubber, or what you'll see a lot of times is the introduction. Here's my first talking point, blah, blah, blah. Here's my second talking point, blah, blah, blah. And then here's my conclusion, blah, blah, blah. The whole thing about the moving is, again, to separate the talking points. So it's very clear to the audience and to the judge that, I give my introduction and then I come, let's look at my first point. It's very clear that my intro is done. And then if I say, let's look at my second point, it's pretty darn obvious that my first point's over. If I walk and if I say, let's go on to my second point, those are indicators that, hey, I'm done with that idea. I'm moving on to another idea. Need eye contact, enthusiasm in the voice. Hand gestures should not be distractive, okay? They shouldn't be doing this for 7 minutes or 5 minutes if you're impromptu. You look for original thought in the impromptu, but not too original. They actually need to stick to the topic they've drawn. If they draw Harry Truman, then they need to talk about Harry Truman. They can't talk about Harry Potter. They're switching their draw, and you need to dock them for it. Now, the extemp, it's going to be a yes or no question. Should we do this? Should we do that? And they need to say in their introduction, yes, we should, or no, we shouldn't, for 3 reasons. Yes, we should for A, B, C. No, we shouldn't for A, B, C. And then over here's my first reason we should. Here's my second reason we should. Da, 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 da. Here's my third reason we should. Da, da, da. Impromptu, since it's a 5-minute speech, sometimes the students will have 3 talking points. A lot of times they'll just have 2, okay? So they'll say, okay, here's my first talking point, especially if it's a quote. If it's a quote, a lot of times the students will split the quote into 2. They'll talk about the first part of the quote over here, they'll talk about the second part of the quote over here, and then they give the conclusion, because 5 minutes, not a whole lot of time to actually develop 3 talking points. There's not a lot there. And again, in the impromptu, they need to get past cliches, they need to get past the obvious, and they need to actually give you some content where they say something insightful, thoughtful, provide knowledge. What we have our students do is they pick different people and events that they can talk at length at and really tell you about in detail. And then they compare that to their, this quote. This quote says, never give up. Well, quote says never give up. First of all, I'm going to talk about Franklin Roosevelt, how he never gave up, da 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 da. And now I'm going to talk about Mother Teresa, how she never gave up, da 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 da. Okay, and you talk in length and you show a knowledge base about those to demonstrate the quote, never give up. So, anyway, that's about it in a nutshell. Extemp, impromptu. Enjoy.